we cut across to breaking news coming in. Drone strike that has been reported near Dubai airport. In fact, according to the latest reports, we've learned of how there was a drone that hit the Dubai airport. There was thick smoke that engulfed the skies of Dubai. Reports that are coming out to the effect of how Iran drone that hit Dubai airport. Dubai authorities have confirmed that a minor incident that resulted from the fall of debris after an interception had been successfully contained. No injuries have been reported. Authorities have also denied reports circulating on social media regarding any incidents at the Dubai International Airport. So far, we understand that there are no casualties, but the damage at the airport that was caused. Take a look.
Oh my God! Ya Rab. Ya Rab. Ya Rab. Straight to the aircraft. Straight to... Ya Allah.
Let me cut across to my colleague Ashutosh, now joining us from Dubai. Ashutosh, while so far there has been damage to property and thankfully no casualties, but given the fact that flights were getting affected, now with the sort of damage at the airport, resuming flights may take longer. Operations will be affected.
In fact, the Dubai authorities, the UAE authorities are trying their best to resume the operations as soon as possible. Because remember, Dubai being one of the very largest and the biggest transit point as well, where you have the flights operating not only from towards the east, but also towards the west. And that remains the top priority, top focus of the UAE government. However, this morning, when the alert were issued, in fact, we were right exactly in this area in the central Dubai near the Burj Khalifa, when we heard that siren alert, when the missile alert that came, there is a possibly missile intrusion that was intercepted by the defense ministry, by the air defense system and the entire defense apparatus. And within 5 to 10 minutes later, we were alerted that the threat has been thwarted finally. And then minutes later, we hear that something had happened at Dubai airport. So it was a projectile that was breaching their security and that was intercepted. And debris of those particles eventually fell down in those images that you were seeing. However, there is no casualties yet. There were a number of people who recently injured in several instances. President of UAE also visited them in hospital yesterday. But so far, of course, because of this tension that remains, the entire Middle East region has fallen into the conflict, and caught in the crossfire is these Middle East nations, the UAE cities, the UAE provinces, including Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and all other region. And that perhaps has drawn a sense of apprehension, and perhaps why see most of the busiest stretches of UAE that remains deserted. Not exactly that life has gone totally standstill. The offices are working. We are seeing people still moving. See the number of vehicles that will be passing right behind through me. However, the big relief actually, because the schools have gone on a spring mode since Friday until 22nd of March, the schools will be on the spring mode. But looking at the situation, largely it creates this apprehension among the tourists, among the commuters who are planning to arrive to UAE, where the government giving assurance that look, we are ensuring your safety and security, and that is paramount for the UAE. But the aerial projectile that is coming on as a hostility towards the American assets and including the air bases and the air spaces, that remains a major concern, because eventually, as and when this happens, you have to close down your airspace, because such projectiles eventually could cause threat to the aircraft that will be flying. So on and off, these airports are shutting down. Whenever they open space, they are sending advisories to the commuters, particularly Emirates that is operating. They're on and off sending advisories to the passengers that only have a confirmed ticket and a confirmation from the airlines, only then proceed towards the airport. So there are certain do's and don'ts being followed in UAE. Largely, the administration is trying best to keep the passengers, commuters and the local aware with every situation unfolding, including the alert from taking shelter in these areas, and also as and when the threat is thwarted out. So, Yasha.
Oh yes, absolutely, Ashutosh. But given the fact that now Iran has also apologized for these strikes at the Gulf states, also saying that they will not continue these strikes on the Gulf monarchies, does that in any way come in as a sense of relief? Anything that you sense on the ground with the authorities also saying that this could probably simmer in the days to come?
Well, the apology has come as a conditional that so long America don't use the Gulf nations, the neighboring nations of Iran, to use to escalate war against Iran. So eventually, when it all happened, the naval bases, or the American armed bases, the military bases were attacked. But again, at the same time, the reciprocation, the response that the America did was also using the Gulf nations wherever they have their military bases, they have their aircraft carrier using the Gulf nation waters or even the international territory. So, if America decides that these military bases or the military assets that are located in the Middle East, in the UAE, that will not be used, clearly the Iran is not going to reciprocate. But at the same time, if that continues, there will be retaliation. And even this morning, we have seen that retaliation, that debris of those projectile after interception fell down at the Dubai International Airport. Soisha.
Ashutosh, I want to thank you for getting us the latest. We'll keep coming back to you for further updates.
No, it hit next.